on the many people I'm talking
a prediction.
to.
No, that's fair enough. We'll see. We'll see where that ends. I want to bring in Jason Falinski. He's a former Liberal MP and a leading moderate in the party organisation as well. Jason, look, thank you for joining us. Just your reaction firstly. We'll get your thoughts on the deputy contest, which is proving a much tighter run thing. But on the leadership, Angus Taylor's prevailed, and by a healthy margin, 34 votes to 17. What does that say to the electorate at large about the direction the Liberal Party is now heading in?
Oh, we'll have to wait and see. As Annabelle and PK have been discussing, Angus has certainly comes from the Conservative faction in the Liberal Party, but he takes a more traditional economic approach to a lot of the issues facing Australia. So if we go back to framing our solutions in economic terms, then that's certainly a much healthier and I would say productive electoral strategy than some that we've been pursuing to date. But the margin definitely, I think, shows what you said, Spearsy, which is he should have some confidence around that. But also, I think a large number of the parliamentary party were just over it and wanted to move on.
When he also says that he wants to restore the way of life for Australians, what do you take that to mean?
I take that to be prosperity. I mean, I heard Tony Abbott talk about values in that, but I think what most Australians have come to expect from Australia is the dream, the promise that we put out there, which was each generation will be better off than the last one. And for too many Australians at the moment, they feel that their lifestyles, their families, their communities are in not terminal decline, but sustained decline. And the numbers bear that out. We have been in a per capita GDP recession since the end of 2022, and all the news around the economy has been negative at the start of this year, with interest rates going up, etc. And so I think that that's what he means, and I think that's what Australians, even if they can't verbalise that, that's what they're feeling, and that's what they mean by what they expect out of their governments.
Jason Falinski, we spend too much time together. People are going to start talking, but let me ask my question. Susan Lee being rolled, and actually, if you look at the numbers, not doing very well at the end. It was not close. She has been emphatically defeated. That's a pretty big blow to the moderates, isn't it? And your sensible centre, let's move to the centre. Isn't that a blow to that mission?
Oh, well, PK, I'm going to give you the answer that I've given to you many times on this occasion. This isn't about left or right. This is about up or down. And I would say to everyone in the party, regardless of which tribe they come from, they need to come up with a message, a narrative that resonates with the vast amount of Australians, that we have the policies and the ideas that are going to make their lives easier and better. At the moment, we continue to talk to ourselves about ourselves. We are letting off a government that is producing some very bad outcomes for all Australians, and we are abrogating our duty as both a political movement, party and parliamentary team.
And just on that, the values that resonate, what do you think, Jason Falinski, about Tony Abbott's suggestion there that the immigration policy should include distinguishing on values who can come to Australia?
Well, I think what Tony's reflecting there is an underlying concern in Australia that our social cohesion is being very much tested at the moment. And I don't think there's any coincidence that while correlation isn't causation, that following the massacre at Bondi Beach, that there was a large surge in votes for One Nation, because I think a lot of Australians tie immigration to social cohesion in this country coming apart. Now, the fact of the matter is we have as a nation traditionally had high levels of immigration, particularly compared to other parts of the world, and our social cohesion hasn't been tested in that way. So something is going on in this country. Immigration is certainly something that people are pointing to as part of the problem, but I would point out to them that historically that hasn't been the case.
Just final question for you, Jason Falinski. I'm wondering the moderate wing of the Liberal Party, its perspective on where things are at. You've lost so many seats over the last two elections in urban Australia. In the period since the last election, you've walked away from net zero, now dumped first female leader, elected a Conservative in Angus Taylor. Is this where the moderate wing of the Liberal Party really wants things to be?
Well, I think those of us in the Liberal wing of the Liberal Party would probably say to you, as I said to PK after the last election, things are going to get worse before they get better. we have been putting off too many debates for too long. And so this is part of the journey we're on, and we will undoubtedly find out what happens at this point. I would remind people that when Tony Abbott became opposition leader in 2009, that there were a lot of people in the Canberra Press Gallery who thought that this was a lurch to the right and that he would be unelectable as leader. And we all know how that turned out. So I'm not willing to look into the seeds of time and say that the whole thing's going to wither. But, yeah, look, we have a lot of hard work ahead of us, and it starts with coming up with a message to the Australian people.
Jason Falinski, thank you very much